Upon assuming power in Serbia, Slobodan Milosevic exhibited his brutal intentions. In 1987, Milosevic announced Serbia's war against everyone. His objective was the establishment of Greater Serbia, which resulted in loss of nearly 500,000 lives and devastation of Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Kosovo. The international community, led by NATO, had to intervene to counteract his atrocities. The legacy of Milosevic's savagery persists. Over the past 2 decades, his associates have held positions of power in Serbia, and their actions have posed threats to neighboring countries. By adhering to Milosevic's hegemonic policies, they perpetuate tensions with Albanians, Croats, Bosniaks, Montenegrins, and Macedonians. Their close ties with Russia engender frequent challenges to NATO, United States, EU, and other democratic nations. What were Slobodan Milosevic's aspirations? What was the death toll during his regime? What were Milosevic's affiliations? When was his brother appointed as ambassador to Russia? Why did his family, including his wife and son, flee to Russia? Did he prepare Serbia to become proxy for Russia through his associates? Equally significant, does Milosevic's influence persist in the mind of Vucic and other leaders of Serbia? What are Serbia's intentions, considering its position as mini Russia, housing the largest Russian espionage center in all? Milosevic abrogated the autonomy of Kosovo and Vojvodina. Then he attacked Slovenia, but quickly surrendered there, invaded Croatia, and for years of war, he destroyed almost everything. He failed. The resistance of Croatian people prevailed. Today, his servants see Croatia as an enemy, invaded Bosnia and Herzegovina, and caused genocide. The resistance of Bosniaks received the support of the world, but in the agreement, Milosevic gained enough power there to not leave Bosnia comfortable even today. His followers want to take half of his territory. Kosovo was fully occupied for more than 10 years, and for more than 2 years of war, Milosevic caused genocide, deportation, and ethnic cleansing. He deported more than half of Kosovo population. The resistance of Kosovo Albanians was successful, while NATO intervention stopped the genocide. Milosevic failed, but his followers are threatening Kosovo all the time. Slobodan Milosevic was arrested in 2001, indicted for genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity, deportation. In 2006, his death was announced in a UN prison cell, but his associates still hold ruling positions in Serbia. While the question whether Milosevic is still alive remains an important one, his brutal campaign aimed of creating Greater Serbia, and he believed that through acts of genocide, he can achieve that. Serbian President Aleksandar Vucic appears to align with Milosevic's ideology. Even 18 years after Milosevic was arrested, Aleksandar Vucic praised the Balkans' butcher.
Milosevic was a great Serbian leader whose intentions were certainly for the best, but our results were very poor.
Vucic said in 10th of September 2018, "Seriously, Vucic, you consider Milosevic a great Serbian leader?" The complicity of Vucic, Dacic, Vulin, and other leaders of Serbia in that period of Milosevic cannot be denied. They served under Milosevic's regime, offering him their support and admiration. These past atrocities, including massacres and genocide, according to Aleksandar Vucic, elevate Milosevic to a status of great leader. This begs the question, does Serbia aim to repeat such acts? The statement of Vucic adds an alarming dimension to the discussion. Let's examine Aleksandar Vucic's statement praising Milosevic in more details. Great Serbian leader? Vucic's endorsement implies an idolization of Milosevic, suggesting a worrisome trajectory. Milosevic's authoritarian and dictatorial tendencies align with Vucic's own authoritarian leanings. as evidenced by his imprisonment and suppression of political opponents, civil society, and media outlets in Serbia. Good intentions? Vucic's affirmation of Milosevic's good intentions raises alarming implications. It suggests that the goal of creating Greater Serbia through genocidal actions against other nations are still considered as objectives. Consequently, Vucic may have the same ambitions of exterminating other nations and pursuing the establishment of Greater Serbia. Poor results? Vucic's assertion of Milosevic's poor results indicates his own desires for even greater levels of brutality and aggression. It hints at Vucic's aspirations to not only commit genocide, but to go further. Such outcome would be the definition of Vucic for successful results, surpassing what he perceives as Milosevic's failure. Vucic follows in Milosevic's footsteps, employing similar tactics. He surrounds himself to the individuals who were once loyal to Milosevic, maintaining a network of his servants. Serbian warplanes remain active along Kosovo borders, signaling ongoing tensions. Vucic has deepened ties with Russia. Serbia has expanded its military arsenal, procuring weapons systems from both Russia and China. Financial support is provided to parallel and criminal structures in Kosovo and also neighboring countries, fueling instability. Vucic's administration exhibits a pattern of imprisoning political opponents, civil society activists, and manipulating media outlets within Serbia. In one aspect, Vucic and Serbia's leadership have surpassed Milosevic. They have effectively transformed Serbia into a pawn of Russia, essentially creating a mini Russia in Serbia's borders. This includes establishment of the largest Russian espionage center in Balkans. Stay tuned for our next video. We will share more about Serbian objective of creating Greater Serbia. We will shed light on current political leadership in Serbia who are advancing the agenda of Greater Serbia, a threat to neighboring countries. Prepare for a deep dive into the dark undercurrents surrounding Milosevic's existence in Serbia. You won't want to miss it. Nothing good comes from Serbia, home of largest Russian espionage center in Balkans, where Slobodan Milosevic's agenda is still alive.